Floor Boys here. It's
Straight into it, really? Is it all business?
It's all business.
All
with
business.
me, baby. It's everyone's favorite lore bay, Ethan. I'm joined today with my good friend.
Everybody's fourth favorite lore bay, Peter.
After Screamer and Ice.
Namdi.
Nam. Oh yeah.
James.
If we count Namdi, then I'm number 2.
Damn it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, what'd it do, Ethan?
Yeah, we're here again. Jamie couldn't be here again.
He's still in jail.
Yeah, still in jail, believe it or not.
You know.
Even after the whole breakout and everything.
Yeah, and they found him right away.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. We had such a good idea.
Yeah, of hiding inside the jail to get away from them.
To record a podcast in there, like last place they ever looked was
Exactly.
totally the first place they looked.
It was actually the first place
It was
looked, yeah.
seconds after we stopped recording last time.
Yeah.
Jamie was back in jail.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Turns out taking your pants off at a playground still illegal.
It's still illegal.
I thought it was 2018.
Yeah.
I got to add a P to the LGBT.
Yeah.
For pedo.
Yeah. And or pants.
And no pants.
And no pants, yeah.
My stupid cat's sitting on the fucking table, and she might cause a ruckus at some point, but I will do my best to stop her. Or maybe she'll just lie down and loaf up.
She's too cute to do anything
Cat loaf.
wrong.
Cat loaf. All right, well, she doesn't listen. Don't buy a cat if you want to pet that takes directions.
Well, she absorbs sound, so she's fine on the table.
She does, yeah, actually. If you want to just, like, sit... Oh. Is she going to do it? Is she going to do it? Is she going to do it?
Everyone at home is waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. And...
She's doing this weird thing where she's, like, 3/4 laid down, but she's just hovering ever so slightly off the table.
She won't tuck her hands under herself.
Like, she looks laid down, but if you get real close, her belly's not actually touching the table.
No.
It's great.
Why?
I don't know.
Why are animals like this?
Your cat's weird. Doesn't meow either.
Well, she just... When she does this, it's gross. That's why her name is Screamer.
Exactly.
So screamy. And she's so tiny. What were we talking about? Oh, Lore Boys.
Lore Boys.
My name's Peter O'Donohue. I am
a
a Lore Boy, too.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. Jamie couldn't be here. That's what we were saying.
In jail.
In
right,
jail.
we went through this.
Yeah.
Is he editing? Do we have to shriek at him
for
the raw audio?
We'll leave him some fun editor's notes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about Magic the Gathering.
Really?
And for all the diehards at home, cut me some slack. I've only been playing since Origins, which I'll explain what Origins is.
I don't know what that
in a little
means.
bit. It's basically okay. Well, let's start from the top because a lot of people probably don't know what Magic the Gathering is, or they probably have just seen like big, fat, sweaty neckbeards gathered en masse to do this thing called Magic the Gathering.
It's not a ritual.
Yeah. Some might say. I mean, scientists haven't really agreed on whether or not it's a ritual yet.
Anthropologists who have been embedded in Magic the Gathering groups for decades are not yet completed their PhDs. So.
It's a trading card game, so it involves paper cards. It involves playing those cards to build up your forces and defeat your enemies. For some people, it might be more familiar, like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yep.
Like Pokemon.
Well, so I've played both.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic?
No, Magic and Pokemon.
And Pokemon cards.
No, I've played Magic precisely once.
Okay.
And then Pokemon, I have the Game Boy Color game, so I know how the card game works. So they have very similar mechanics, Pokemon being more cash for fiduci casuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Magic is...
And children, who are the filthiest of casuals.
Magic is, like, the be-all, end-all, most complicated card game. Like, there's, like...
You guys have, like, physical moves you have to do, right? You have to tap a card?
No.
Don't you?
No.
No?
No, not in any... Not in any main sets. Maybe the set Unchained, which is basically just like, the craziest cards.
Well, that's the meme cards.
I mean, some older... Actually, that's not true. Some older cards did have those mechanics. There was a card called Chaos Orb, where you hold it at least a foot above the playing table.
Yeah.
And then you just, like, you flip it. It has to flip at least one time. And whatever cards it lands on, you remove those from the game permanently.
Okay.
So they're just, like, they're gone.
Okay.
There's, like, so many different rules and mechanics to... Magic the Gathering that I've played a lot now, and there's still times where it's like you get these super complex, super non-intuitive interactions between cards, and you actually have to like go look up rules. And it's like rule 711.1c is the rule on like double-faced cards.
It's like a legal document.
No, it's straight up is, and like the Magicopedia is just like filled with these rules basically, and it's a lot more fun than I just made it sound. So Magic the Gathering has a pretty intense story world universe set up. It's by the creators of Dungeons and Dragons. So there's
Really?
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast does.
Oh, I
Dungeons
thought you
and
meant
Dragons.
fucking Lord Gygax himself.
Lord Gygax founded the company, which founded this, and this was founded by Magic the Gathering was invented. The guy's name was Garfield. I think his first name was Richard, but he was a cat, and he really loved lasagna.
Oh, okay, that's what he did. After John died,
Yeah, exactly.
he took it pretty hard.
Yeah, he took it pretty hard. He got a little crazy, and he made this really complex card game, basically. In Magic, there's the multiverse system, kind of like in Marvel, where there's a bunch of like similar worlds.
Okay. Is it the planes?
Yeah, they're called planes.
Right. Okay. So I'm again. I guess it always betrays me that like my nerd cred is for things no one knows about.
Yeah.
Like, it's like God, I love.
It's like good nerd cred.
God, I love Mech Warrior and BattleTech. Ask me about fucking the Davion and the fucking Katrina Steiner and Victor Davion. Let's talk about them. Yeah. And then fucking the Daughters of Karinsky. That's some hype shit.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I play Overwatch and League of Legends.
The clan invasion, babe. Yeah. And then it's like I'm like tangentially aware of Overwatch and like tangentially aware of League and tangentially aware of Magic.
Yeah.
So I've like heard these words, Duels of the Planeswalkers. That's what you play as, right? Like
you play as a Planeswalker.
You take on the role of a Planeswalker.
So there are
when you shuffle your cards.
It's called Magic.
Right.
The Gathering.
Right.
And turns out there's a lot of people that can do magic in this multiverse. This multiverse is known as Dominia.
Okay.
The most powerful of these magic users are called Planeswalkers.
Right.
And they can basically travel between planes at will.
And that's the player.
That's the player, and there's card types. So there's a lot of the story, and in story, you summon an ally to come help you fight. And anytime you're playing and you cast a creature spell, you're summoning a creature from another plane to come fight another Planeswalker for you. Is basically how the game mechanics work canonically.
Okay, that's kind of how you can have monsters that
wouldn't fit.
What look kind of like savage beasts.
Yeah.
And also like elves and dwarves and
elves and dwarves. There's
the I know Alexi built a white deck, and it's Eldrazi.
Eldrazi is like the Cthulhian horrors.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
And there's some really cool ones. I was like thinking, I was like, oh, maybe I can pick like a couple stories to do on Magic the Gathering, but like it's like dense enough that I was like, I got one story, I was like, wow, I have more than enough material. So I was thinking about doing the Eldrazi, which is some really cool storylines.
Okay, so you're back on the Squid Folk.
No, I'm not doing it, but I was thinking about doing that one.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing the current set / block, which is called the current plane is called Ixalan.
Okay.
Which is like there's dinosaurs, there's vampires, there's merfolk, which are like murlocs.
Yeah. Is it not mermaids?
No, they're more like fish people.
Oh, okay.
They're like actually like fully fish
So they're not
people.
sexy mermaids and mermen?
No.
Okay. They're unsexy mermaids and
it's
mermen.
It's this plane. It's like when the Spaniards first came to South America.
Right.
So it's like all jungles and like conquistadors, and there's this ancient city of gold, El Dorado, basically.
Nice.
But this is like one of the only planes that when a planeswalker travels to it, they can't leave.
Oh.
And it's like, ooh, why does that happen? So if we do another Magic the Gathering episode, there's a good chance that I'll touch on that one, or the Eldrazi, like I said.
Yeah.
I'm doing another story called The Brothers' War, which takes place much, much before when the current sets came out. So I said I started playing at Origins earlier.
Right.
So 4 times a year, Wizards of the Coast will release new cards for Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
And they release them in what are called sets.
Right.
And each set has a theme. So the current plane that we're on, with the last 2 sets,
Jungle dinosaur shit.
Nice. Is you get sets come out in 2s, which are called blocks. So the current block is the Ixalan block because everything happens on Ixalan.
Yeah.
Before this, it was a place called Amonkhet, which was a ancient Egyptian where literally the gods were like manifest and people like met their gods, and they had this really fucked up thing where people would fight to the death to get to the end of all these trials to be the one who gets killed by their god and gets to like go to the afterlife with them, kind of thing.
Okay.
And then this super powerful planeswalker comes in, basically corrupts all the gods, and just like sucks all the life out of the realm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a dragon planeswalker named Nicol Bolas, and he's a pretty cool guy too. That was another story that I considered doing, but didn't do.
No, you didn't want the fucking interdimensional dragon versus the Egyptian gods. You were just like, that's not interesting.
It's really cool, but it's really current too.
Oh, okay.
It was like less than a year ago, or about a year ago. The first of this set came out. So when I said I was doing Origins, it was basically there's a group of when the Eldrazi were becoming a real problem in a lot of different planes. They're kind of going plane to plane, taking over things.
Okay.
This group of planeswalkers formed a coalition called the Gatewatch, and Origins basically told all of their origin stories. So there was Gideon Jura, Jace Beleren, Chandra Nalaar, Liliana Vess, and Nissa Ravane. So just these 5 planeswalkers.
Okay.
You don't have to know who they are, but anytime you have a planeswalker, one of these super powerful wizards that can travel between dimensions,
right,
they have what's called a spark, and it takes some traumatic event to actually trigger that spark to make them into a planeswalker. So you're a wizard and you're born with this thing, but you need something like significant, to actually let you planeswalk. So basically, just Origins told the story of how all these
Moonwalker,
all these different
Michael Jackson's got plenty of trauma. He's a planeswalker.
Yeah. all these quantum leapers.
I just gotta summon some fat dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my god! Imagine if he was a planeswalker and he was just like materializes in the jungle and like starts fucking summoning dinosaurs to fight you.
Look at those dinosaurs, Blanket.
Yeah, it's not a pet monkey. It's like one of those like tiny little feathered raptors just sitting there. Jesus Christ.
They have cat monkeys in Magic the Gathering from 2 sets ago.
Oh.
The Kaladesh block. Or 2 blocks ago, sorry. The Kaladesh block, there was they're called Bandars, and they're like monkeys, but they have like little kitty faces. So the Brothers War. So 2 of the most famous planeswalkers to have ever lived were brothers.
Oh.
They were born in the plane Dominaria, which is the central plane. So there is like a map of the multiverse.
Okay.
And this one's like right in the middle, connected to the most planes. So 2 brothers in the center of the Mech Warrior universe.
Multiverse. In the inner sphere, yeah.
In the inner sphere. We have Urza.
Okay. Was
born on the first day of the year 0 AR. Which is
after?
No, it's not. It's like something.
Alto Regalia.
Hold on.
Those are 2 dumb fantasy sounding words.
Argivian Reckoning.
I was pretty close. I made up 2 fake words too.
Now I
need a writer's credit.
I will say full disclosure.
Yes.
He's born on the year 0, and that fact is related to his birth.
Okay.
And it is not something we will cover in today's episode.
Okay, fine.
There's a lot of lore.
Lore boys, Khmer Rouge. Pol Pot resets the calendar in Cambodia.
Yeah. I'm mentioning that so if anyone out there is like really curious by the end of the episode, or if they're really curious now, make a note to look it up because it won't come up by the end of the episode.
Or maybe we'll cover it on a later episode. You should just subscribe and follow all this shit.
He was born to a noble family of Argive, so Argivian Reckoning.
Okay.
He's Argivian.
Yeah.
One of the 3 coastal kingdoms of Terracier. So,
are they human?
Yeah, they're humans.
Oh, okay. So is Argivia, or the Argivians, is this a country?
The Argivians
a kingdom?
Are a caste, it seems like. No, sorry, it's a kingdom of Terracier, which is a continent.
Okay.
So it is a kingdom.
Okay.
His younger brother, Mishra, was born on the last day of the same year. So we have 2 brothers. One born the first day of the year 0 AR. His younger brother born on the last day of that same year.
How?
It's 12 months, Peter.
9 months to make a baby.
Yeah.
You can't be pregante with 2 babies.
Peter, work this one out.
You said the first day of the same year? Uh-huh. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's because he was conceived in March.
Exactly.
And then born in January.
-1 AR.
And then, exactly. Never mind. You know what?
We're there. We got there, folks.
Yeah,
Peter just finished work in his defense. So.
Yeah. I finished work a work party.
Down 2 pints and had a shot, and then made his way to his own apartment.
And then
I was waiting.
And then I was just like, I was telling my boss, and then the birthday girl Amanda. Hello, happy birthday, Amanda. She was just like, "Oh, you're leaving? What are you doing?" I was like, "I have to go home and continue working." But this time it's on something I care about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just like I'm just going to work all the time.
You run into the bar, you order like 2 pints and a shot, and like you just start chugging the pints.
Dude, that's
and
exactly.
the birthday girl's right beside you. She's like, "Hey, Peter." You're like, "Happy birthday! I gotta go record a podcast."
Well, that's not. It's slightly more dramatic, but pretty much exactly what I did.
I
walked in, and the waitress was already at our reserve table, and I was like, "Hey, can I get 2 pints and a shot?" And then I was like, "What's Amanda drinking?" She's like, "Tequila." I was like, "Give me Jamie and tequila." And they're like,
Jamie
"Okay."
and tequila and my bill.
And then 2 points, and I want to pay right away. Exactly. So she brings me my drinks, and I'm just like, I sit down next to her. She's having a conversation with her, like with another one of our colleagues, and I'm just like, "Yo, clink, 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 clink." It's like, "Yeah, happy birthday." Slam the shot, and then I just like wander around, say hi to everybody else, kill all my beers, and then like
you make sure everybody saw you at some point, and then you just ghost.
They deserve it. All right, okay. And then we like hung out, joked around, and I just like finished my drinks, paid, and I hit it. That was nice.
I know. So we have 2 brothers, Urza and Mishra.
Yeah.
Urza the elder, Mishra the younger.
All right.
Urza's mother died while he was a child.
Oh.
So his father married another member of the aristocracy.
Right.
This woman treated Urza and Mishra with indifference at best and contempt at worst. In 10 AR, their father, so they're 10 years old.
Yep.
Their father fell ill, so he sent them away to his old friend Tokasia to serve as students at her archaeological dig. So mother dies when they're very young.
Yep.
Stepmom is a mean bitch.
Yep.
Father gets ill. He's like, I can't fucking deal with kids. So he literally just sends them away.
Yeah. Go dig up bones.
Go dig up bones or shit. I don't know.
Yo, if my dad got sick and sent me to an archaeological dig, I'd be fucking thrilled.
Yeah, no.
I'd be very sad my dad was sick.
Yeah.
But like...
And maybe you never see him again. Who knows?
Fucking old vases?
Yeah.
Come on.
At least I don't get to deal with that fucking stepmom anymore.
Fucking bitch stepmom.
Fucking hate you, Tracy.
My stepmom's Tammy, but I don't hate her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Tammy, you're okay.
Tammy's just fine.
Tammy, we know you're listening.
Lore Boy's canon.
Okay.
Tammy's just fine.
Lore Boy's canon. So under Tokasia's guidance, the 2 brothers learned a large amount about the manufacture of artifacts from the archaeological excavations of the ancient ruins of the Thran, the mysterious civilization that ruined Terracier thousands of years prior.
Okay, so they... We're just like, whoa, I heard there was this ancient civilization that had magical powers. Let's dig up some magic bones. And then they found some magic bones, and presumably this leads to them becoming planeswalkers?
Okay, they're born with the spark.
Oh, shit, that's true.
They're born with the spark, and this path that I've set us upon, I didn't mean to do this, but I've set us upon this irreversible path.
Okay.
Where these guys are going to undergo some great event that is going to transform them into planeswalkers.
Is it an archaeological cave-in?
No.
Damn.
But hey, good guess.
All right.
Any more guesses?
Does their dad die and their mom takes over and then tries to have them killed? Oh, their stepmom.
Their stepmom. No, that's not what happened.
Really?
We're done. There's no more mention of the father in this podcast.
Really?
I don't know what happened to him after he quote unquote fell ill.
He got sick.
I was giving you grief about
you just punched your
table.
pop filter.
I punched it into my microphone. So enjoy that, listeners, and Jamie, I guess.
I guess so.
Editing.
Yeah.
The Thran were an ancient people who lived in Dominaria thousands of years before Urza and Mishra.
Good.
And spent their time building intricately carved machines. Ancient robots.
Are you fucking
ancient robots?
I got half a beer. Okay, confirm this. Confirm this. This is the thing. I'm gonna finish this.
Okay, I'll finish mine.
Okay, we're gonna finish our beers.
Yeah.
Because of ancient
robot. Everyone listening at home.
Hang on. We need absolute silence to make sure the mics pick this up.
So everyone listening at home, finish your beers.
Cheers.
Ancient robots.
Ancient robots.
Yeah. So we have ancient robots. But
God damn it.
But at least this time we have the creators of ancient robots.
Oh, they're still around.
They're not still around,
but we know who they are.
They were people, and they have a story.
Oh, okay.
In the course of their research of these ancient Thran, these ancient robot building peoples.
Yep.
Urza discovers what he would call the Caves of Koilos, which is a very Greek-looking word. Koilos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
It's an ancient word for secret.
Can you see my cross right now? There we go.
Oh, your cross. I thought you said crotch. I was like, no Peter. So they find what he would call the Caves of Koilos, which is actually a land card in Magic the Gathering.
What color? Is it black or red?
It's actually any color you want it to be.
White?
No, it's any color you want it to be.
Okay.
If you want it to be white, I'm trying to remember right now. I think
I didn't know there were colorless cards in Magic.
There are. Eldrazi specifically operate with colorless mana. So there's not only you can use colorless mana to just pay for any costs. And we're getting like really into the weeds here, but
yeah.
Whenever you summon a creature, there's a mana cost on your Planeswalker.
Yeah, they have like, so if I recall what a Magic card looks like, it's a sick picture of some sort of sick monster.
Yeah.
And then there's its name, some flavor text from a fake person who encountered it once.
Yeah.
And then there's the mana cost top right. Where it has like a color and a number next to that, and that's how many lands or like pictures of you need so many scenic photos to summon a dinosaur.
Exactly.
Because it needs to live on these scenic photos.
And well, the scenic
that's the layman version, at least. Yeah.
The scenic photos are called lands.
Yes.
And it's literally like you're summoning energy from the planes.
Right.
So you're a planeswalker and you're summoning energy from the plane that you're on.
Bob Ross is just like,
and
put a happy dinosaur right here.
And there's plains, islands, swamps, mountains, and forests.
Mountains red, I know that.
Mountains red, forests are green, swamps are black, islands are blue, and plains are white. And each one basically corresponds to a theme. So
bird people are white, I know that. I've seen that.
A lot of birds are white, a lot of birds are blue too, seabirds.
Okay, yeah.
So, and then you end up getting like the mixes of the two, and there's a whole storyline where there's guilds. So that's the Azorius Guild is white blue, and they basically say like, oh, we're the best, and then guild packs. That's a whole nother storyline that I almost just embarked on. But, so like
Lore Boys podcast now 5.5 hours long.
Yeah, so mountains, which are red, are like fire,
like volcanoes and shit.
A lot of the spells are like direct damage, like fireball, deal damage to this creature or this player.
Okay.
Whereas white is like healing spells.
Do you have?
And green is like gain your forest. So you're like, oh, wild growth, gain more land, gain more mana really fast.
That makes sense.
A bunch of big creatures.
Do you have life points as a Planeswalker?
There's different modes you can play, but all the basic one-on-one modes.
So that system's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh.
You have 20 health.
Okay.
And all creatures have a power and a toughness.
Shit, that's true at the bottom, eh? Yeah.
Can deal different damage.
The only Magic card I ever owned, I remember, was called the Craw Worm, and it was like
never weight of it.
Craw Worm. It's a legless dragon. I don't know. It's a green card.
Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
Mikey likes it.
I assume it's worm with a U because that's how they spell worm.
It's W. It's either W-U or W-Y because I know that's the way to spell like a dragon worm, like Hobbit wise. I know that.
If it's legless, I was thinking.
It has no legs.
Who knows?
Yeah. Crunch at me.
Yeah.
Crunch
at us.
Get us.
We'll find it somewhere.
I might still have it in a drawer somewhere.
The two brothers find these caves of Koilos.
Right.
They enter the cave and they find out it's filled with Thran artifacts. So the archaeological find of a lifetime.
Nice.
On a pedestal, Urza and Misha find a stone. When they pick it up, it comes apart into two halves, what would come to be known as the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. Urza took the Might Stone and Misha took the Weak Stone, and each brother coveted the stone of the other. So they both were like, I can do more in my research if I have both halves of the stone. Give me your half.
Yeah.
Like older brother Urza was like, I have the Might Stone. Give me your little Weak Stone.
Give me your bitch stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Misha was like, fuck you, I hate you. You're just like Tracy. And so he wanted to hold on to his, and he wanted Misha's Might Stone. So this is basically what's called a Power Stone.
Okay.
Which these ancient robots
like
were
the Dreamcast game?
I suppose. Yes. I mean, yes. This is improv. Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Yes, and it's also... So in the context of the game, a Power Stone produces colorless mana. So all these robots in-game are referred to as artifacts.
Okay.
So any robot or machine, no matter how old or how new, is referred to as an artifact. A Magic card has the cost up in the top right corner.
Yes.
And a lot of them, like you said, have a picture of a color and then a picture of a number.
Yes.
Artifacts just have the number. So that means it can be paid with any color of mana, including colorless mana.
They're only powered by magic, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Like magic of any form will get them going.
Cool.
Whereas a lot of like if
they've got many fetishes,
that's
and
it.
like anything will get them going.
That's it. If you're summoning a bird, you need specifically the white mana or the blue mana.
Wheat.
But if you're just trying to power up a robot, you just hit it with white, you hit it with blue, you hit it with black. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the Eldrazi some of them are powered specifically by colorless mana. You need at least some like untainted source to summon them.
Okay.
Yeah. So on this pedestal, they find this Power Stone that breaks into two different pieces: the Might Stone and the Weak Stone.
So it's weak as in WEAK, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the pussy stone.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like one produces like a strong magnetic force, the other produces the weak magnetic force. You know.
Okay, so it's like a positive negative polarity, but they're presented as like strong and weak.
It's literally just like Urza just named them, and
okay.
Whether or not it's coincidence that he named his the Might Stone and Urza's or Mishra's the Weak Stone.
Sounds like he's got an agenda.
He's got the big brother
issue.
Yeah. There's a word that I'm looking for there that I missed.
Complex.
That's exactly the one.
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
You got the big brother complex.
He's got that big brother thing
that's it.
that maybe you would have a show in or like a sporting event. Complex. Oh, there you go. You got it. Yeah.
He's the big brother. He's like, I got the Might Stone. Mine's so much better than yours. Give me yours. It's literally like my older brother. So in removing the stones, they also, unbeknownst to them, opened a long sealed portal.
Dang.
One which leads to another plane called Phyrexia.
Cool.
And anybody listening right now who has a vague knowledge of Magic the Gathering, but doesn't know the specific relationship between Dominaria and Phyrexia would know what I'm talking about. Phyrexia is a very famous plane. It introduced something called the Infect mechanic.
Okay.
So when I said you have a certain HP total,
right?
So if you're playing,
is it like dots?
No, it's like a number.
Okay. No, I mean like is the Infect mechanic like dots? It's a damage over time.
No, it's much more sinister. So if you're playing white black or just white, there's a lot of life gain mechanics.
Okay.
So you can kind of stall out the game and just like keep gaining life. There's even some cards which is like if you at the beginning of your turn, if you have 40 life, you win the game.
Really?
Yeah, just like game over, like you win the game.
Fuck.
But yeah, I was just about to get really complicated into rules there, but we're not going to go there. In fact, if a player has anytime a creature deals damage to a player with infect damage, and it has infect,
okay,
for each point of damage, it puts a counter on them called a poison counter.
Okay.
When you hit 10 poison counters, you lose. No matter what, you lose the game. So like there are some decks out there which is like you play the game, you get a creature out. It could be like a 2/2, and then you like put something on it that makes it a 10/10. So it's going to deal 10 damage when it hits you, and then you give it haste, and then you just swing in, and it's like, boom, game's over.
Holy fuck.
Which you can tell I'm not a fan of the Infect mechanic, but
no,
a lot of people are, and I did start playing long after it was over. So Phyrexia was a plane created by an evil unknown Planeswalker. Yeah, he pretty much... The only thing he's known for is creating the plane of Phyrexia and doing seemingly nothing with it.
Okay. That's fine.
And then he died.
Okay.
And we never knew his name.
Some dude.
But good on him. But it does tell us...
He created a plane. I mean, that's impressive enough.
Does tell us
on its own.
That Planeswalkers, if they're strong enough, can create planes.
Okay.
Can create new planes of existence.
That makes sense.
Basically.
But apparently it takes a hell of a lot out of them.
Yeah, enough to kill him, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
It doesn't specifically say that's what
He
killed
gets
him.
sleepy.
But Lord Boy's canon. He got a little sleepy.
And then he never woke up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He was just like, no, don't worry about me. I'm just going to lie down for a minute.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's like, oh, I'll come check on you later on.
Yeah.
And then he, like, opens the curtain to his medieval tent. He's like, Dad? And he's dead. That's it.
He's dead, and he's got like a model train set out. It's like way too detailed. Like you can like zoom in with a microscope, and like the blades of grass have like individual molecules painted on.
It's just like this last, the last thing.
Just killed himself, being of immense power. Just
the model train set.
This model train set.
The Planeswalkers are just big dumb nerds. They're like suburban dads.
Yeah.
Too much money.
Exactly.
Fuck. Yeah, they're like the sweater tied around, or no, it's like the pastel polo with like the sweater just like draped over the shoulders, folded, not tied on the chest. Like it's like tennis club people.
Yeah. I'm picturing like plaid with like reading glasses, but like on a chain. And, tucked into his pants.
Just reading glasses, just wide enough to see one thing as he's painting
at a time.
Yeah,
Exactly. One
word at a time in his Western Digest or whatever. Fuck.
So, what's so special about Phyrexia, Ethan? Why are we talking about this new plane?
Ethan,
out of nowhere.
Why are you asking yourself questions?
We were talking about Dominaria, and now all of a sudden we're in Phyrexia.
Why? Because they discovered a portal to it on the other side of the bitch gem and the buff gem.
Yeah, by removing these stones.
Yeah.
So it turns out Dominaria and Phyrexia have a pretty rich history themselves.
Yeah.
They get around.
No.
It all starts with a man. A planeswalker named...
Of course.
Named Yawgmoth.
I wrote a blog post about why I hate magic.
And it's because it's always men who are the evilest beings in the universe.
The male fantasy of summoning dinosaurs into swamps.
Exactly, yeah. Men only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting.
It's like a T-Rex in a swamp.
T-Rex in a swamp with a vampire conquistador on his back.
Dude, actually... That sounds great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Vampire conquistador on his back.
So magic.
It
starts with a white cisgendered male.
Lore Boys Knights.
It all starts with a white cisgendered male named Yawgmoth.
Well, that's a foreign name. That's
Italian, I think. No?
Yeah.
Yawgmoth.
Yeah.
Yawgmoth Delella.
It's one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah,
it's like 3.5 hours in the oven, but you make a good Yawgmoth Delala, you can make anything.
So Yawgmoth was born in the Thran Empire, some 2,000 to 5,000 years before Urza was born.
Okay.
He believed in healing the human body in any way possible. And he was
by any means necessary is dangerous. It sounds like he's going to create some fucked up animals. Yeah.
Maybe. He was one of the first people to claim.
People with like praying mantis arms, just like, I'm so good.
Yeah. You're surprisingly close. So, Yawgmoth believed in healing the human body in any way possible.
Right.
And he was one of the first people to claim that illness might be caused by viruses and bacteria and not by evil spirits. He wanted to heal the human body, but had a thirst for power, and held the belief that he should rule over pretty much everything, given his intellect. He's like, I am smart boy, let me in charge. That didn't work so well for him.
No,
but it didn't really prove his point talking like that he was very smart.
Yeah.
So in the Thran Empire,
listen to me.
Yeah. In the Thran Empire, there was a growing divide. One side of the divide believed that machines were the future. These Thopters, these dynamos, were the cure for all that plagued humanity.
Thopters?
Thopters is like it's literally like a flying vehicle.
Cool.
And it's something they used all the time. They used it to transport stuff later on when we get back to Urza and Mishra, because one of the first things that they found were these old Thopters.
Yeah.
And one of Urza's first inventions was called an ornithopter.
Okay. Oh.
And it's just like a modified Thopter for the modern day, and it's a flying machine that can be used for war, can be used to transport goods, stuff like that. It's like a little helicopter,
like an airplane.
Yeah.
Why, behold, I have discovered 2 wheels and a frame. I call it the bicycle.
Yeah.
it's like in a tomb.
Yeah.
It's like an ordinary or like whatever the bike with the big wheel.
With the big wheel, yeah.
Like, why, the most advanced thing I've ever discovered in my life.
Like carved with ancient runes.
Yeah, exactly. Made entirely of limestone.
It's like you're in an ancient Egyptian tomb, and you see all these pictographs or hieroglyphs on the wall, and then one of them is just a guy on an old timey bicycle with a big wheel.
What the fuck? Yeah, exactly.
Behold, it is the promised invention.
In every picture.
Yeah, exactly.
At varying levels of distance. Yeah.
So there was a divide. The one side believed in the power of machines. The other side believed that eugenics was the way to go, and that a materialist approach to things like surgery and germ theory was surely the future of humanity.
Dang.
So one side was like, machines are the future. The other side was like, let's make humans really fucking cool with eugenics. So the believers in machines...
Cyborgs or Nazis. Why not just make cyborg Nazis?
So, yeah, exactly.
The Wolfenstein games are great.
Yeah, the Wolfenstein games are literally... It's an alternate timeline where these two sides agree.
They're so good. God damn.
Yeah. So
robot Nazis are like the funnest things to fight.
Yeah. So the believers in machinery, known as artificers, were fueled by the nobility.
Okay.
Because at the time in Thran...
Artificer is a cool name for what I'm assuming is a wizard who makes robots.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of really cool names in Magic. There's one guy called Hieromancer.
Cool.
And Hyro in
it's like hieroglyph. Does he write too?
No, he's white colored, so he's all about like justice and healing.
Nice.
And Hyro in Latin is derived
it's
from
like Hierophant.
justice. But these artificers, they're fueled by the nobility because Thran at the time is run by machines pretty much. They have all these thopters, that just it's like drones, and it's basically like sending all this stuff.
Okay.
So these artificers who create these machines are like, no, machines of the future, fuck you guys.
Obviously.
And they have all the money because they've been selling these machines, so they have all the power already. So they're just, this other group is just like, well, fuck you guys. But there's not much they can do. So this nobility, these artificers, end up banishing a bunch of eugenicists, including Yawgmoth, who was on their side because he believed in,
technomancy,
in viruses and bacteria, and that's blasphemy. It's evil spirits that kills people. By this robot, by this Roomba.
By this Roomba, okay.
By this Roomba, ward off evil spirits.
Okay, if my Roomba had like a crystal in it, it's just like rolled around and got like stuck under the couch because like fucking dumb crystal was too high.
Yeah. Suck up all the evil spirits in your house.
like legitimately afraid because I had to charge mine while leaving, but they have like a dumb battery in them. Okay. I was kind of afraid this morning when I left my house that my Roomba would just catch fire and burn my house down.
You're a little paranoid with that stuff though, because you make me unplug the fourth plug in a single outlet so I can plug in my laptop.
Well, I have a hex plug.
I'm not blaming you.
Did you unplug my lamp?
You're very cautious. I did. Don't worry.
No, that's true.
I know you. After they earn Yawgmoth's ire, obviously he's a narcissist that thinks he should be in charge of everyone, and he just got fucking exiled. He's like, this is not okay.
I
just lost my safe space, and this is not okay.
He's inhaling so hard through his nose right now.
So after years, after years of exile, the leaders of the artificers was wounded in a riot. Basically, a guy came up to him with a broken power stone and like stabbed him.
Oh shit! You had like shards of a power stone?
Yeah, and he contracted an unknown disease, incurable by traditional Thran medicine.
Is it a curse because it's a magic rock?
I guess kind of. It's a disease. If you said, is it a curse? Yawgmoth would be like, no, curses don't cause diseases. It's definitely something more scientific than that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like magic is just undiscovered science kind of thing.
Right, so, that's fair. All right.
At the behest of Rebek, Glacian is the head of the leader of the artificers. His wife goes to the Council of Elders, or she's on the Council of Elders, and they recall the lead eugenicist, Yawgmoth, from exile.
Yeah.
And they basically say, like, hey, if you cure him, then your exile's over.
Yeah,
you've proven your worth to society. You can come home.
Maybe you did all that weird shit, but...
Yeah, exactly. So he comes back. He ultimately diagnosed it as phthisis, which is a degenerative and purportedly contagious disease induced by Power Stone radiation. So,
oh, dang.
These Power Stones are radioactive. He got stabbed by it, and he basically got radiation sickness, but it's contagious, this type of
Did it make him radioactive in some capacity?
No, it made him sick. He actually cured him to some level. He didn't go back to full health, and he eventually ends up going completely mad.
Good.
There's a good argument that it's because of that.
Yeah, chemo's not perfect.
No, that's it.
Makes you nauseous. Sometimes it makes you go crazy.
Yeah.
I guess.
So word of the diagnosis was met by skepticism by the elite. They all scoffed at it. Oh no, machines are perfect. Nothing that you buy from us could possibly hurt you. Yeah. Smoke this cigarette. Here, drive this fossil fuel car.
Classic elites.
Many of these elites seem to possess an innate resistance to the disease. So it is possible that some people can be resistant to it.
Okay.
In particular, Glacian himself, even after being healed by Yawgmoth, refused to trust him. And phthisis in this utopia almost powered by Power Stones,
right, was
pretty widespread. So this widespread phthisis was particularly true of the low class. Go figure. They're the ones probably building the machines.
Yeah.
They're labeled the untouchables.
They got the something can be compared to like black lung.
Yeah,
sort of.
Exactly. If it were contagious.
Robot magic.
And if it were contagious.
Right.
If you got near someone with a black lung, and they gave you the black lung. So they're labeled the untouchables. They're crowded into a series of caves below the city, and critically below the machinery responsible for producing power stones. They were crowded into a series of caves below the city, and critically below the machinery responsible for producing power stones.
Okay, so it is like magic black lung.
Yeah, exactly.
Blagic lung.
No, it's they got sick, then they got shoved into a mine shaft.
Oh,
They didn't get
excuse
sick
me.
from the
right.
mine shaft.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they were leper colony sort of shit.
Or a bit of both. They got shoved into the if you got sick with phthisis, you basically got sent down there.
Right.
Like to is it Maui? No, Molokai.
Oh, you mean the actual leper colony?
Yeah. Molokai, I think it is.
I have no idea.
And then down there's just more machines all powered by power stones, and you probably just get more sick. You'll never get better. You go down there.
Do you have robot butlers who are just like exuding sickness radiation sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So their forced exposure.
God damn it.
Their forced exposure to heavy power stone radiation helped incite outrage against the ruling class and led to a series of further riots. So So there's a good chance that the guy who stabbed Glacian with a broken power stone probably was one of these untouchables.
Yeah.
Just found a broken power stone laying around. Was like, fuck you, I'm going to show you what it's like. But he's like, oh no, there's a guy who can cure this who we exiled. We'll just summon him back to cure me. No problem. So throughout this period of unrest, Yawgmoth expands his influence through a combination of political maneuvering and genuine Thran artifice. So this guy is a genius, and he's like straight up producing like amazing machines capable of amazing things, and he's probably curing a lot of these untouchables, and like being a champion of the common man. And he basically gets his place like shortly after being coming back from exile. He gets his place on the council and fucking everything, no problem.
Okay, decent little Trotsky we have here.
Yeah, exactly. So after his return, another planeswalker, Dyfed, approaches Glacian for an audience. Glacian, the lead artificer.
Right, yeah.
And Dyfed is this new planeswalker who wants to go see him. So she knows that Glacian had a latent planeswalker spark. He has the potential to be a planeswalker, but he hasn't had that event in his life that's made him that yet. And
too cushy.
Being stabbed with a power stone didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
So,
there's something worse has to happen.
Has to happen for him to come.
He got stabbed. He's like, nah, bitch, and then it's like flexed and snapped the power stone in half.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sweet.
I kind of like it because it's like maybe there's some people who are born with a spark who just never become a planeswalker.
Oh, because their lives are too good.
Not like.
Or just not traumatic enough, I guess.
And it also seems to be different people have different layers on like how traumatic it needs to be.
Well, people have different because trauma is inherently personal. Like something that upsets me or something that upsets you is entirely subjective.
Jace Bellerin from the Origins, one of the 5 from the Gatewatch in the Origins story line,
yeah.
He's the blue guy. So in the Origins story there's one planeswalker for each color.
Okay.
And Jace is the blue guy, and he was literally bullied in mage school, and that triggered his planeswalker spark.
Right.
So, and this guy got stabbed with a power stone and like didn't do it. So who knows? But
I know which horse I'm betting on. This
Dyfed goes to Glacian because she knew that Glacian had recognized a theory by which an entire plane could be mapped to the interior of a power stone. So there's so much power in these things, they think they can create a plane inside one of these.
So can you engrave an entire universe, or is that like a
plane is, as far as we can tell,
a door?
A world.
Okay.
Like it's like a one planet system, it almost seems like. Each plane has one specific theme, and it's never really mentioned that they go to space or anything like that, or they see other planes like out in space.
Okay.
It's just you seem to travel to another planet, or they're not round, and it's literally just like you go to a plane and it's flat to infinity, but of the same theme. Like the theme runs throughout.
Okay.
So they think that they can map one of these specific themed places inside of a power stone.
It's consistent.
Exactly. Glacian rejects Dyfed. Like I said, he still didn't trust Yawgmoth.
Okay. And
he thinks that Dyfed was working for Yawgmoth. He thinks that she came to him because Yawgmoth sent her. So Dyfed, after she gets rejected by Glacian, goes to Yawgmoth and says like, "Hey, this guy was curious that my questions about mapping a plane into the inside of a power stone was because of you. So I want to talk to you about maybe mapping a plane to the inside of a power stone." So Yawgmoth enlists her help in locating an unpopulated plane to do some tests with.
Unpopulated as in it's just like a rock planet, or as in unpopulated there's no intelligent life, it's all like...
There's no society yet.
Bugs.
That's it. Or not even necessarily bugs. It could be lifeless, but you know, as long as there's not there's not going to be people that resist them coming and taking it over.
It's an empty lot as far as intelligent life is concerned, right?
And planeswalkers can, through magic and sheer force of will, enslave planes to their own means.
Sweet.
As long as there's not too much intelligent life there. So an empty plane is like much easier to enslave to your own means.
If it's all bugs.
That's it. Then you basically have like a lot more control in your own domain, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
You go to a house party at somebody else's place, you get in a fight, maybe you don't win. You go to a house party at your own place, you know
where you hit all the guns.
Exactly. You know where your bazooka is, you win that fight.
Back in the toilet bowl, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Under the lid.
So
taped to the underside of the lid.
Exactly, just an entire RPG. So they find a plane covered in mechanical life, and Yawgmoth soon bends it to his will.
Cool.
This plane is Phyrexia.
Hey.
So we've come full circle in the mini circle inside our big circle story going on right now.
Right.
So for everyone listening at home, we're talking about Urza and Mishra.
Check off the box.
They found a portal to a plane called Phyrexia.
Yep.
And now we're doing the origin story of Phyrexia, a little Tarantino in the middle of this story about Urza and Mishra.
But we're back.
Where we explain Phyrexia. We're not quite back yet. Oh. Because Phyrexia's still got to get...
We're not back.
Phyrexia's still got to get some context to it, right?
Yeah.
So while Yawgmoth and Dyfed were searching for this plane, while they were looking, they're plane hopping, they're going place to place looking for a good. They're house shopping,
planing their hardest.
Basically, Dyfed is a real estate agent; she's a realtor,
right?
And Yawgmoth is looking for a new flat. That's it. She's like, "How about this one?" He's like, "The sun's a little hot in this one, don't you think?" And she's like, "Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, like, we understand, but like the last people who planewalk here, they raised their kids here, and their kids all got great tans.
Well, no, I don't know if I want to live so close to a school. The school bells really bring me back in. I'm not sure I like that.
No. I gotta figure out what that lady looks like because the realtor thing is a good idea.
Yeah. So while they're off house hunting, an alliance forms on Dominaria. They accused Yawgmoth of masterminding a number of suspicious plagues which broke out during his exile.
Suspicious plagues?
Which he absolutely did.
Okay.
So when Yawgmoth was exiled, he did like a bunch of fucked up shit. He captured an elven priestess and her train, injected them with a virus, or infected them, with a virus, and then basically held them ransom with the cure. He said like, oh, if you guys give me like this, then I'll give you the cure for it. They gave him the money, and he just like peace. He's like whatever, just ghosted him. There's a couple other ones.
That's a bad boy.
No, he is. He infected an entire kingdom of people with this deadly virus just because he could. So he's not a good boy.
He's a son of a bitch.
That's for sure.
That's a son of a bitch right there.
So they threatened action against the government. This alliance was basically like it wasn't government sanctioned, if you will.
Okay.
They threatened action against the government, the council, if Yawgmoth wasn't removed from power. So the council has a vote, and it's like 5-4 in favor of Yawgmoth staying. Yawgmoth is on the council, so he voted for himself.
Oh, no kidding.
And Rebek, because she held a debt of gratitude to him because he healed her husband,
right?
And her husband was there, and he felt the debt of gratitude. He had to do it too. So he stays, and then right after he stays, Yawgmoth says like, oh, I know there's going to be a civil war because the alliance was threatening civil war, basically.
Yeah.
He says, I know there's going to be a civil war, so Dyfed, take all the other members of the council, transfer them to another plane. So he just like straight up like Julius Caesar declares martial law, takes over everything, and it's just like
busts out to another universe.
No, he busts everyone else out to another universe.
Oh, okay.
Everyone else that was in charge is now gone. Now he's the only one left there.
Okay, so did he transport them to another plane and then close the door back?
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, oh, it's for your own good. There's a civil war coming. You have to say, you're the future of this plane. You have to save. And it's just like a big old load of shit. As we know, he's a narcissist that thinks he should rule everything, right?
Yeah.
Then he opens a portal to Phyrexia in the caves below the capital, where all the untouchables are.
Right.
And says like, hey, everyone, there's a civil war coming. Everyone can come here. I'll cure your phthisis, and I'll make you all safe and good and happy, and there's all sunshines over there, and everything's gonna be good.
Look how green my grass is on this other side here, sort of thing. Does he just kill everybody?
Exactly. He said there's no Power Stone radiation there. He slaughtered them all.
Right. Okay. Good. I was right.
He used their parts to create what was known as Phyrexian horrors. So Phyrexia is this super like Dr. Frankenstein's, like just cyborgs, but like really like steampunky cyborgs.
Oh, okay, so very poorly.
When you said guys with like praying mantis arms, like but like metallic or robotic praying mantis arms. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And these are the guys that deal infect damage because they're all like horrors.
And they're all kind of moldy.
Yeah, they're all like rotting and like.
All right, cool.
Like not good stuff.
I like that. That's neat.
Yeah. So he destroyed the Thran. The Thran Alliance came after him, and there was like a whole war, and he basically beat them back at like every attempt.
Okay.
He eventually summoned a killing mana cloud. He snuffed out
killing mana cloud?
He summoned a cloud of like this deadly mana that just destroyed. Like there was 2 armies and just killed every single person there.
Cool.
Other than him.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
It's weird that this is a card game.
I know.
I feel like there's a lot you miss out on having
just
being able to see or play it.
But talking to a lot of Magic fans, like
they're into it.
If you like Magic, you really, really like Magic.
Yeah,
so so many of them know these stories already.
Well, like the room we're in right now was like Jesse's room, and he was, he's still super.
He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
It, right?
He does have a YouTube channel about Magic.
Check out Team Turn 3.
Team Turn 3.
So Rebek, who's been with Yawgmoth this entire time, she didn't get exiled because she voted for him.
Right.
So she's been kind of with him, but she kind of sees like this is fucked up. So as a final act of defiance, she seals the portal using a Power Stone, which Urza and Mishra then find.
Okay. Oh, okay, right. We're still in the intermediate past.
Yeah.
Right.
But
okay.
now we've closed that circle too.
So there was the young boys who.
So now you have some
Papa
context.
was just like, go here.
Yeah.
Okay, this whole thing led into this Power Stone, which is the reason. I remember you. Fuck. You warned me this was going to be dense.
Yeah.
And it is a lot to take in after working all day and then drinking. But no, now I do get it. I do get it. Like,
so,
if I get it and you at home currently don't get it, you're an idiot.
It gives some significance to
the stone and why it's there.
That stone and that portal that they opened when they took those stones.
Back to Phyrexia.
The Might Stone and the Weak Stone.
Yes.
The portal to Phyrexia is open, and they're not aware of it.
Optimus Stone, Megatron Stone.
Yeah. So the brothers, after they found the stones, like way back present day, they went on with their lives. Urza went to Yoida, which is a city called Yoida, and he became the chief artificer there. It was literally the chief artificer at the time held a contest where he had a giant green statue, and he said, if anybody can move this, like the Statue of Liberty big, he's like, if anybody can move this, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage, and you're like next in line to be the chief artificer kind of thing.
How hot was she?
Apparently not very. Urza built a machine to move the thing, and then like...
Did she marry the machine?
No, she married him.
Dang. I think that would be funny.
Just married.
It's just like a cruel joke.
Yeah.
It's just like
your machine did it, not you, fool.
Any and all who could move this machine. But no, because you said I was like, is she hot? And you said not really. I was just like some homely princess of like shitty birth, where she's kind of like little double chin. She's got like a mole with a very, very dark hair on it, sort of thing. And then some guy was just like, oh, to be a sassy fantasy boy, I'm going to just build a robot. And then the robot does it, and she's like, oh, my prince. He's like, no, the robot did it. And then like the robot marries her.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Like if somebody married like a caterpillar excavator, those big yellow things that dig big holes.
There's a good bit of British television where there's 2 women who are sexually attracted to amusement park rides. And they go to this old abandoned amusement park, and I was watching this news clip on it, and the girl is like, she's underneath, it's like abandoned, and she's underneath the ride, and there's still all this hydraulic grease around, and she's just taking the grease and she's just like rubbing it all over her face.
Wait a second. This is a bit?
No, this is like a real thing. These women are like serious.
What?
Like, don't kink shame. Everyone has their fetish.
That's fine.
And I guess for some people, amusement park rides. And maybe for some woman in Thran, it was a machine that could move a giant green statue.
Okay.
But for this other poor girl, she was actually pretty keen on Urza. And Urza like completely ignores her. And he's just like, I only cared about being chief artificer.
Yeah.
And just like their wedding night, he left to go like work on more designs for like different Thran dynamos.
Did she bang the best man at least?
I mean, I mean, it doesn't say that in the wiki, but Lore Boys canon, yeah,
Lore Boys canon, she totally did.
Yeah, she did, and good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah,
yeah, it's an arranged marriage with arranged loveless marriage. Like, good for her. Get some, girl.
Yeah. Fuck somebody who cares. Get you a best man who fucks you right. Yeah. Is Lore Boys' advice on arranged marriages.
Everyone out there listening, fuck someone who cares.
Yeah.
No, just everyone listening. Fuck someone who cares.
Fuck someone who cares.
And if you can't find someone, be like me. I care about myself. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone out there listening, fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, fuck yourself. Well, okay. Sorry.
Fuck yourself.
I thought you were saying well, and then we're gonna like follow that up with something.
Fuck yourself, comma well.
Okay.
This is like know thyself.
Do good fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Do good fuck with
fuck.
you. Yeah. So all this to say, like Urza was obsessed with making machines and being super powerful and all this stuff. While he's doing that, becoming chief artificer of the city of Yoida, his brother Mishra moves to the desert land with the Falaji people, where he was an advisor to the ruler there.
Okay.
So shortly after the two brothers go their respective ways, all this infighting and sneak attacks and double crossing starts to occur between the two kingdoms. So they obviously both still want the other one's stone. Mishra wants the Might Stone, and Urza still wants the Weak Stone.
Okay.
These things have kind of become like the focal point of a lot of their discoveries. And Urza's like, I could build a machine that could move 10 statues of liberty if I only had the Weak Stone as well. So this like very quickly evolves into like a full-out war between the two nations.
Oh God.
And this, if you'll remember, this story is called the Brothers' War. So,
yeah.
We're finally there. So an increasingly elaborate set of machines developed by the two brothers begin to fight on either side, and the war slowly spirals out.
So we have like a straight-up magic robot war.
This is like drone fighting.
It's pretty legit.
This is war in 15 years. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Cool. It's pretty legit because
there's only two people involved, but it's just like the robot casualties were just like
exactly. The robot
unfathomable.
My people died in their millions. I do not care, for I am not programmed to care. The war continued for decades until the fateful day at Argoth, which is a city, the city where Urza and Mishra were born.
Yeah.
When the brothers met face to face at the head of their armies. Urza discovered there that Mishra had been corrupted by the Phyrexian influence, slowly turning himself from a man into a living machine.
Oh, so he's a magic cyborg?
So they haven't been fighting face-to-face all this time. They've just been sending their robots, and after all these years, decades, the two brothers finally meet, and he sees like his younger brother is seriously just like grafting pieces of machinery onto, like fucking tractor parts onto himself.
Cool.
To become like more powerful because he was corrupted by this Phyrexian portal.
So he's like shuffling farm equipment.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
Cool.
Way back when they first opened this portal and they grabbed
it
in the Caves of Korlos. So Urza responded.
Is he possessed by like a ghost from the other portal? Because
it's not explicitly.
Okay.
Kind of the.
But the inspiration corrupted him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like he had like a vision of the other side when the portal opened.
Right.
And never went to therapy about it. Never talked to anybody about
never told his mommy.
He just repressed it, you know. And,
yeah.
Well, his mommy was dead. And he tried to tell his stepmom. She's
Excuse me.
Quit complaining, you little bitch. She's like, shut the fuck up. We've all seen planes into other dimensions with Phyrexian horrors. We've all been there. Deal with your shit yourself. Keep that shit bottled up.
And now he's a cyborg.
Tracy was a bad stepmom.
Yeah, now he's a cyborg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If your stepkids turn out to be cyborgs, you did something wrong.
You did something wrong.
You did something very wrong.
Not like horrific cyborgs. Because like in Magic, when you have a Magic card,
right,
you have the name at the top, you have the cost in the top right.
Yep.
You have the flavor text, like you said.
Right.
You also have a line which is the type. So you can have a creature, or you can have an instant spell, or a sorcery spell, or you have a planeswalker. And all creature spells have a subtype. So these Phyrexian horrors, their subtype is horror.
Okay.
Like literally, they're so horrific that they're classified as horrors.
Because there's just a bunch of like meat and metal just like slammed together in kind
exactly.
of like,
in the worst possible way.
Person.
Yeah, like somebody did it in a barn. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
All right.
Like every single one.
Like a barn with gaps in it,
or like a dungeon of a castle.
You know those barns? You drive through the country, like like on the South Shore.
Yeah.
Well, there's like those barns that have like. They're made of very gray wood that have very clear gaps between
barn
all the
board,
boards. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
That sort of shit.
That's where they're made.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a robot and also
with like
a person.
rusty chains hanging from the rafters.
Yeah,
and all that
exactly.
good stuff.
Yeah. Who knows what those chains were used for?
Exactly.
Good God.
So Urza responded to this with the frightening force of what's called the Golgathian Silex, which I won't get into too much. The Silex was an ancient artifact of immense power. So throughout all their being archaeologists and all that, there's actually somebody else who found it and then got captured by Mishra's forces, or one of Mishra's generals, and then he had to turn over the artifact, and the artifact switched hands again. But we'll skip all that bit of the story because it's not that interesting.
For another day.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if it's not that interesting, maybe never.
Yeah, never again.
It happened.
It switches hands a couple times, but Urza ends up with it, and like it was basically like a nuke that like neither of them wanted to use.
Okay.
And Urza sees like what his brother is transformed into, and sees these Phyrexian forces like arrayed against them, and is like, we can't fucking. I don't know what to do about this. So he decides to activate this thing. The Silex Blast was one of the most traumatic events in Dominarian history. It slaughtered both armies, blasted the landscape for miles around, sank the subcontinent Argoth.
Holy shit.
And altered weathered patterns for centuries, leading to an ice age.
Cool.
So there was
Holy fuck.
There was a block expansion called Ice Age, which was like a lot of snow themed stuff, and like this is what fucking set it off, was like this fucking blast. It also activated Urza's Planeswalker Spark, turning him into a fully fledged Planeswalker.
So
with the ability to
the Ice Age was traumatic enough.
The
was
nuclear
it
blast.
nuking? Oh, okay.
The nuclear blast was enough.
Okay.
His brother Mishra was killed by the blast, so never became a fully fledged
Cyborg
Planeswalker.
Boy.
Yeah, Cyborg Boy was killed by the blast.
Cyboy died.
Urza actually goes like a little bit crazy after the fact for a while, and is like obsessed with turning back time.
Okay.
There's like a couple sets called like Time Spiral and like things like that, which involves a lot of Urza just trying to figure out a way to turn back time to like save his brother and like go back to the Might Stone and the Weak Stone.
Yeah. Okay, so he killed his brother and then was guilty.
Yeah, he felt guilty about it. Yeah. Urza realized after he destroyed his brother, Misha had been completely corrupted by the black mana from Phyrexia. Pushed Urza also to begin his lifelong hunt for retribution against Phyrexia and its demonic ruler Yawgmoth.
Okay.
So that's the Brothers' War. And then there's like a ton more story about Urza where he's just going after Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth is probably the most well-known antagonist in Magic the Gathering.
Is he a planeswalker? No, he's a demon.
No, Yawgmoth is a planeswalker.
Okay.
Demons, I don't even think demon is like a thing in Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
There's planeswalkers, and he's it's like between him and Nicol Bolas, the guy who corrupted all the Egyptian gods.
Yes,
the dragon planeswalker.
The bad guy from Stargate.
Yeah, but Yawgmoth is probably like the most well-known antagonist from Magic the Gathering, and Urza is one of the most well-known protagonists from Magic the Gathering. Okay. And that's basically like his origin story, and this is why like they butt heads so much.
Okay.
Because like Yawgmoth got banned from Thran, and Thran earned his ire, and now Urza's realized that his brother's death was because of Yawgmoth and Phyrexia and that corrupting influence.
Right.
And says like, oh, you've earned my ire now. So now we have these two titans going at it.
Cool.
And I think that's where we'll end. I don't know how long we've been recording for.
Me neither. Check it.
But
check her out.
That's a good spot to stop because
I mean that was good. That was a good point because I'm like into it now. Yeah. I know I didn't say much like recently. It's.
I mean, those last couple of minutes got real, dude. Nuke's gone off. He sank a subcontinent, which I think is fucking wicked.
Crazy.
Started an ice age.
Get fucked, Ecuador.
And he fucking survived. Get fucked, Ecuador. He survived it because he's fucking a planeswalker. He's just like, oh, this made me stronger.
Because he was like outside, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Holy fuck.
Well, usually it's like when someone's planeswalker spark activates, it's like they get transported to another plane. So it's like...
So the planeswalkers exist, like, innately outside of the thing they control. So, like, homeboy who has all the vampire conquistadors who ride dinosaurs sees it, like, top-down sort of thing? Or is he around on the battlefield?
I mean, the vampires are interesting. There's this whole family of dinosaurs. I keep saying dinosaurs.
Whole family of dinosaurs.
Whole family of dinos.
That would be great.
We got Rodney Dangerfield. We got... no, but there's this whole family of vampires called the Markovs.
Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Of all the... What?
From We're Back.
I know. No, it's... we discussed this before.
I know.
Which one
it's
was
a callback.
It was John Goodman.
Oh, John Goodman.
John Goodman was a T-Rex and fucking We're Back.
And so was Rodney Dangerfield.
Which one was he?
I don't know. I know Rodney Dangerfield was in We're Back, though.
Man, I love We're Back.
Hey, I mean, come on. I was a dinosaur. Come on. That's my Rodney Dangerfield.
I get no dinosaurs. No dinosaurs. No dinosaurs. No respect.
No respect.
He was in The Simpsons. He played Mr. Burns' son.
Yeah, he did. That was a great episode.
It's called Burns Baby Burns.
Yeah. There's a family of vampires called the Markovs, and they're all planeswalkers.
Okay.
And I won't jump into it now, but there's this really cool scene where this is the Eldrazi story, where they're looking at what happened, and like one of the Markovs just got fused with his like stone house.
Oh,
so like this planeswalker is literally just like fused in stone, and like in his house, which the manor got shattered, and all the pieces are still like floating from like latent magical energies.
I imagine something way cooler than that.
I'll show you the picture. The art. I mean, the artwork of Magic the Gathering is so
way better than mine.
So fucking cool. There's so many cool pieces.
I know, it's so
Noah
good.
Bradley is my all-time favorite Magic the Gathering artist. And before I ever got into the card game, I found him. I don't even know how. And he's been my desktop backgrounds for as long as I can fucking remember. One of his fucking pieces has always been my desktop backgrounds. So.
Noah Bradley, crunch at us.
That's the Brothers War from Magic the Gathering.
I like it. It for me though, it kind of feels too much like a book where I'm not. It's not like when we do like game lore where I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go out and play that. Like I'm not gonna start playing Magic now.
And honestly, like I mean, the way it works in Magic is like there's the standard rotation. So remember I said sets and blocks.
4 a year.
And then
like 2 sets per block or whatever.
There's 2 sets per block, and then there's 2 blocks per year.
Okay.
And there's different formats that you can play in Magic. So how they keep getting you to buy new cards is when you play Standard, which is all the big money tournaments, you can only play from the last 4 blocks. Okay. 3 or 4 blocks, depending on they basically reset it.
Do you still play?
Yeah, I still play.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't play tournaments or anything like that, but FNMs, things like that.
Okay.
FNM is Friday Night Magic. Okay. Go to your local game store, and they have a Friday Night Magic, which is just everybody shows up. You buy 3 packs for $15.
Do you guys do a what the fuck is that called? It's I know the word draft.
That's what Friday Night Magic is. Okay. That's what I was getting at. Everybody buys 3 packs. You open your 3 pack, or you open your first pack. You pick a card out of it, and then you pass it to the left. And then you get one from the right, you pick another card, and it goes around like that.
Yeah.
So it's not as RNG like, oh, I got one really good pack, I'm gonna win this draft or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
It's you pass it around, then you keep the cards at the end of the day. Yeah. So it's like
cool.
A
friend of mine gave Sarah, my friend who gave me The Witcher 3.
Oh, okay.
She did a lot of drafts. I know that she's the one who taught me how to play Magic.
It's a fun game, and it's not as complicated as I made it seem. It can be as complicated as I made it seem. Because that's if you're playing Standard. If you're playing like Legacy, it's like any card for the past. This is the 25th year, actually. Magic was founded in 1993, so 2018 is the 25th year.
Holy shit!
And and so if you're playing Legacy, like you can play like any card from like any set, or almost any set. So it's literally you get some like really weird interactions with cards, because there were cards like way back in the day that they were like, this makes sense, and then they're like, holy fuck, this card is so broken.
We made a mistake.
So there's a card called
the hubris of man.
There's a card called the Black Lotus.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it the Black Lotus? Yeah. Because I know there's that video that everybody's seen of the guy with the white gloves.
Yeah, opening it.
Unpacks like a foil Black Lotus, and he's just like the hardest he's ever came in his life.
Going market price for a Black Lotus is $25,000.
What?
Yeah, that's the going price. It costs 0, and it gets you 3 mana, which is, I mean, it's just insane.
And that's somehow worth $25,000.
It's pretty much banned in every format too. It's just the rarity of the card. It's like a collector's thing more than anything at this point. But it's a really, 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 really good card. It doesn't sound like much.
3 mana's a lot, I guess.
It's a really, really, really good card. So card games are all about tempo. It's all about establishing something before your opponent,
right?
So that he's always reacting to what you do.
Yeah.
You get out on you go first, and you get out 3 mana on turn 1 and play a 3-cost creature. It's like there's so few things that the other person can do to respond to that, even on turn 1. So it's not like turn 1.
Yeah.
They do something, and your 3-cost creature kills it or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Or just starts dealing damage. And then on turn 2, they have to waste their entire turn just dealing with that when you're getting something else out on turn 2.
Okay.
you actually get a 4-cost creature out. But it doesn't sound like much, but it's a way overpowered card. It's banned in almost every single format, and it is just the rarity of the card, and it's not any Black Lotus that's worth $25,000.
It's the foil.
It's the foil and specific prints of the foil.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's insane, but fair.
It is insane, but it's like collectors. They spend like $1,300,000 on a car.
Dude, fucking.
Like, well,
there's like a CS:GO skin that sold this week at time of recording for $61,000.
There you go. Exactly, which is insane. It is insane.
If you have, I was a bit of a hoarder for a long time.
If you have the money, give it to charity.
No,
Jesus Christ.
Well, not necessarily. My point was going to be I was a hoarder for a long time where I didn't really spend money on anything except just booze with my friends.
Yeah.
Right? But now I understand money exists to be spent. If you can spend $61K on a CS:GO skin, I mean, I don't even own CS:GO, so this is a bit of a stretch for me, but if you can spend $61,000 on a CS:GO
$61K to social programs would do way more for the economy.
I can imagine it'd probably be a hell of a lot
Let's
better.
not get into it. But that's a deep conversation to get into, right?
Hey, it was his choice, right?
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So, Pete, where on the internet, if I were looking for you, because I'm always looking for you,
What's
might
the
I find
internet?
you?
What's the internet?
What's the internet? Where am I? Do you guys smell toast?
That's a very
on the Twitter.
my historical reference.
On the Instagram.
Okay. On Twitter, I am at Pete O'Donohue. If you can spell it, you can find me. I do all of the artwork at loreboys.wordpress.com. I do the artwork for twitch.tv/loreboys. And then on Instagram, I'm Old Aunt Peter. Don't follow it. I don't update it anymore. I'm pretty much mainly the user of the Lore Boys on Instagram. So that's it. So I mostly
where the artwork goes and everything.
I'm a brand boy. That's where the artwork goes.
Lore Boys podcast on Instagram. Yeah.
Is Lore Boys podcast on Instagram?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm the brand boy. That's it.
I'm at Ethan the Deadman on Twitter. I've been getting a lot more into Twitter recently. But I still don't have any of my personal friends on there. I'm just friends. That's not true. I'm friends with Namdi, but
that's true.
And Pony. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on the Lore Boys Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Ethan the Deadman again. And for anyone out there listening who's thinking about getting a Lore Boys Prime, who knows?
Subscription.
Lore Boys Quantum Prime.
Who cares? Exactly.
Subscription. This week we're offering, we're going to give to the first 10 subscribers, we're going to have full permissions to print our cards, or print our likenesses on official Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't spoken to Wizards of the Coast. None of these cards will be legal in any format, and you'll have to print them yourself.
Yeah.
But you have full permission from us only if you become a Lore Boys Premium subscriber. Everybody else who's thinking about printing our faces on a Magic the Gathering card, you listen to me, mister. You better not.
I've got a lawyer.
Time out.
I don't have a lawyer.
I've got a lawyer. I've known a lawyer before. So I think that constitutes a Lore Boys.
Lore Boys.
Ah, whoa, whoa, whoa!